During the Second World War, as all of you know, Hitler instituted a persecution of the Jews. During that persecution, one man in particular was arrested. He was a psychiatrist. His name was Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl survived 2 concentration camps. He wrote a book which I highly recommend for everybody, which is called Man's Search for Meaning. It's an old book, but still really one of the best sellers. The reason I mention Viktor Frankl is because of one thing he said in particular that keeps echoing in my mind. He said, "The ultimate human freedom is the ability to choose the attitude that you will have towards your experiences." To me, that sentence seems to have quite a bit of impact, especially given the pandemic and the alteration of our lives that we're going through right now. You see, the person you are is a mixture of what we have come to understand as nature and nurture. We can't do too much about our gifts or the way that we were born, but you can do a lot about how you decide to do the reflection or the decisions that come to you during this time of isolation and separation. Let's face it, we all become who we are by the decisions that we make, but the decisions that we make are done in the context of a relationship with people and events. And when those people and events and circumstances are totally changed, what happens to us is that we're thrown totally off course. And that's the moment in which the freedom to choose your attitude becomes operative. You see, when this pandemic ends, sooner or later, it will, you will have changed. Society will have changed. And the question is, how will you have changed? Will the opportunity, or shall we say the circumstances in which your life was totally rearranged, will it leave you a better person, or will it leave you a worse person? What we always have to remember is that with every decision that we make, we literally carve our character. I don't know if you know this, but the word character comes from the word charesin in Greek, which means to carve. Every time you make a decision, you are carving in the way your personality will look. And so I just invite you especially to ask the Lord to give you the grace to introspect. How are you changing? And am I changing into the man that God wants me to be? Or is this change of circumstances leading me to become a little bit less of what God wants me to be? That is the issue. And so, my brothers and sisters, we don't know how long this will last, but we do know that even though some things are out of our choices, the kind of person that we become is our choice. And with God's grace, I pray that we all choose to become the kind of men and women that God wants us to be at the end of this trial. God bless.